Hi, Dr. Marcia here with another in my video series on coping with COVID, and I'm answering your questions. Today I have a question that's really interesting, and it goes like this. What do I do if I'm snapping at the people I live with and I keep getting into these petty arguments with them? Well, as we know, we've all been isolating at home and staying safe and practicing good social distancing, and it's really been doing an amazing job at flattening the curve and preventing a lot of unnecessary loss. But it also means that we're stuck at home with people, and these are people that we care about, but still, you know, the little things, the little petty disagreements or differences between us can get on our nerves. And there's a story I can tell you about somebody I know who was getting into arguments with her mother because her mother would walk into the room and she would be doing something and her mother would make a comment on what she was doing. Why are you doing this now? You can do this later. Why don't you do something else? And then she would snap at her mother. Well, most of the time she would hold it in, and then she would explode. And obviously holding it in was making her stressed, and then exploding at her mother was making her feel bad and guilty because her mother was older. So we talked about what we could do, what she could do about it. And what I suggested was this: address the behavior. Instead of just reacting, talk to her mother about what is actually going on. I suggested to her to say, Mom, why are you asking me this right now? Or Mom, what do you want from me right now? What are you looking for? What are you saying? What do you need? And then that would stop her mother, because her mother really was being indirect. And she realized that what her mother wanted was to spend some time with her, because her mother is really bored and really frustrated and is used to getting out and doing all sorts of things and is cooped up at home and really does not have a lot of resources for entertaining herself or calming herself down. So we talked about how to address the behavior. Instead of just reacting like a knee-jerk, she needed to talk about what was really going on, not in a threatening way, not in an aggressive way, but just, Mom, what's going on? You know, what do you need right now? And that would be a great way to resolve the difference and not hold it in, and then blow up and then feel bad about herself. And there are a lot of times in the family where people are saying things indirectly to you. They're going to be maybe passive aggressive, or they're asking for something, but they're not asking it for it directly because maybe they feel uncomfortable being direct. And so instead of you reacting, the best way to avoid getting into these petty disagreements is to stop and address the behavior. What do you want from me right now? What are you asking? What do you need? What's going on? What does this mean? And if you keep going to the meta level, you know, the meta level, the level above the discourse, then you're going to find out what's really going on, and then you're going to be able to resolve your difficulties. Now, it is possible that you are living with some difficult people, maybe one difficult person. And that difficult person might not respond. They might get defensive if you say, what's going on? Nothing's going on, nothing's going on. So those people you can't really use that technique with as successfully, because they are not going to be comfortable if you directly address the behavior. They're going to get a little bit, aggressive perhaps in response. With those kinds of people, you need to placate. You need to go, it's all right, it's fine, whatever. And maybe just try to extricate yourself from the situation in a polite and non-aggressive way. You know, okay, I'm just going to go into the other room right now. So I'm going to leave you here and you can just do your own thing. So with people who are going to be a little bit more difficult, you need to maybe just back away, don't engage, don't, pick a fight, or don't engage in the fight. And sometimes people want to fight. They're frustrated, they're upset, they're aggravated, and they want to take it out on you, or they want to have an argument so that they can have you carry their anger. Passive aggressive behavior is when somebody who has some frustration or anger on their own but doesn't feel comfortable expressing it directly provokes you to get angry, and then you get to carry the anger for them. You get to be the bad guy, and they get to have their anger expressed by you. So it's a vicarious expression of their anger. They don't have to take any responsibility for their anger, and you get to be the one who has all the bad feelings. So if somebody's being passive aggressive with you, of course, the most important thing is not to react, not to carry their anger for them, because that's not your job. If they have anger, let them deal with their anger. So if someone's being provocative, if they're poking at you, if they're, giving you the little digs, just go, all right, well, obviously there's something going on here, and I don't need to know what it is, but when there's something you want to tell me directly, I'm around. Obviously you're living in the same house or apartment right now, but you don't have to get caught up in the passive aggressive behavior, and you don't have to be the person who expresses their anger for them. It's their anger, it's not yours, and just keep breathing and don't get provoked. So when somebody has something that they want and they're being indirect, just be straightforward and say what's going on. And if somebody's being provocative or passive aggressive, you know, you don't have to bite. Don't bite the hook. You're not a fish. And hopefully we can all get along until this self-isolation is over. And then won't it be lovely when we all get a chance to have a break from one another? Stay tuned for more of my video series on coping with COVID. Please keep your hearts open, keep your minds open, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll speak to you soon.